Good day, students, and welcome to our first lesson this third quarter period. To start our lesson, we are going to discuss the lessons under physical education, which is about the different festival dances in our country. At the end of this discussion, I will be showing the activities you need to answer, so listen attentively all throughout the discussion. Grab your pen and paper and let's begin. Our whole lesson will revolve around festival dances. So what is festival dance? Festival dances are cultural dances performed to the strong beats of percussion instruments by a community of people sharing the same culture, usually done in honor of a patron saint or in thanksgiving of a bountiful harvest. Festival dances draw the people's culture by portraying the people's ways of life through movements, costumes, and implements inherent to their place of origin. Festivals in the Philippines are generally some of the most awaited events of the year. As communities celebrate religious and secular or non-religious festivals, this can be considered as an instrument in giving honor to their respective patron saints and thanksgiving for a bountiful harvest. In our country, we have two different types of festivals. The first one is what we call religious festivals. These are done in honor of a certain religious icon or saint of a particular place. Ibig sabihin, ang religious festival ay sinaselebrate in honor ng isang santo sa kanilang lugar. The other one is called secular festival or non-religious festival. These are celebrated in thanksgiving or celebration of people's industry and bountiful harvest. So kung yung kanina ay para sa celebration ng mga santo sa kanilang lugar, ang secular festival naman ay sineselebrate sa mga lugar na merong masaganang ani o meron na mga thanksgiving sa kani-kanilang mga lugar. This time, I will show you some examples of religious festivals celebrated in our country. So we have here 4 columns. The first column is the name of the famous festival. The second column is the place of its origin or kung saan sineselebrate ang festival na ito. The third column is religious figure honored or kung para kaninong santo sineselebrate ang festival na ito. And the last column is the month of celebration or kung anong buwan sineselebrate ang festival na yon. So we have Sinulog Festival, Dinagyang Festival, Ati-Atihan Festival, Peña Francia, Gigantes Festival, Longganisa Festival, Kinabayo Festival, Pintados de Pasi, Pataraday, and Sangyao Festival, all under religious kind. Now, the next examples are under the secular or non-religious festivals. The first one is Bangus Festival, Bambandi Festival, Mamangi Festival, Mango Festival, Panagbenga Festival, Ibon-Ebon Festival, Mascara, Tinalak, Amungan Festival, and Binatbatan Festival. So these examples are celebrated because of a certain thanksgiving or a famous industry in that place of its origin. This time, let's recall the basic locomotor and non-locomotor movements together with the basic steps and arm movements in folk dance. They are necessary for you to know and be able to do in producing your own festival dance relative to the context of the festival being celebrated. If you can remember, we have two types of movements, the locomotor and the non-locomotor. Locomotor refers to body movements that move the body from one place to another and they cause the body to travel. While non-locomotor are movements of certain body parts or even the whole body but without causing the body to travel. Now let's see the examples under locomotor movements. The first one is what we call step. This is the basis of all locomotor movements. It prepares you to move in any direction that you wish to go. It is defined as transfer of weight from one foot to another. The second one is called walk. These are a series of steps executed by both of your feet alternately in any direction. In executing a walk, observe that there is this moment when both feet are in contact with the ground while one foot supports the weight and transfer it to the other. The third type is called run. These are series of walks executed quickly in any direction wherein only one foot stays on the ground while the other is off the ground. And the last one is called jump. This movement is simply described by having both feet lose its contact with the ground. There are 5 ways to do it. Take off from one foot and land on the same. Take off from one foot and land on the other. Take off from one foot and land on both feet. Take off from both feet and land on one foot. And take off from both feet and land on both. Now let's go to the second kind of movement, which is the non-locomotor. These are movements that are performed in one point in space without transferring to another point. They don't allow you to move from one place to another. Some examples of non-locomotor movements are flexion, which is the act of decreasing the angle of a joint. Another term for flexion is to bend. If you bend a joint, like your elbow or your knee, you are performing flexion. The second one is called extension. This is the opposite of flexion. You are extending if you are increasing the angle of a joint. Stretching is another word for extension. Third is what we call contraction. This is a muscle movement done when it shortens, narrows, and tightens using sufficient amount of energy in the execution. Fourth is called release, a muscle movement opposite to contraction done when it let goes or let looses of being held into a shortening movement. The fifth one is collapse. This is to deliberately drop the exertion of energy into a body segment. The sixth is recover. This is the opposite of collapse. This is to regain the energy exerted into a body segment. Number 7 is called rotation. To rotate is to move a body segment, allowing it to complete a circle with its motion. Rotation can also be done in wrists, waist, knees, and ankles. Number 8 is twist. This is to move a body segment from an axis halfway front or back or quarter to the right or left, as in the twisting of the neck, allowing the head to face right or left and the like. Number 9 is pivot. This is to change the position of the feet or any body part that carries the body's weight, allowing the body to face in a less than 360-degree turn. And the last one is called turn. This is to move in a turning movement with the base of support, usually pointed foot, the other raised, while equilibrium is maintained until the completion of the turn. And those are all the examples of non-locomotor movements. After recalling the basic dance movements under locomotor and non-locomotor, let's now have a recall of the basic folk dance steps. Here are the basic folk dance steps which will be helpful in performing the different festival dances. We have close step, blecking, touch step, walk, change step, cross change step, hop step, mincing, cross step, and heel toe change step. On the second column, you will see the step pattern and the counting rhythm of each step. Here is an example video in which you can see how each basic folk dance steps are performed. Festivals became one of the factors in the progress of a certain community. Celebration of such festivities strengthens the unity in the community despite the diversity of cultures. These events produce a big crowd for each celebration, resulting in the upliftment of the economy. This is because of its tourism leading towards the improvement of Filipinos' quality of life. Now, as I said earlier, here are the activities that you need to answer from your PE Module 1 this third quarter period. And that would be all for today. Thank you all for listening in today's discussion, and see you in our next lesson.